The letter was sent 6 days ago, of course, to the Honorable Gary Lunn and the Honorable Keith Martin. And this is what I said. Gentlemen, as you both may be aware, I contributed financially towards your recent re-election, not because of your party affiliations, but because I know and respect both of you. Regretfully, I am too old now to serve Canada in any political capacity. However, I did serve faithfully for 38 years in the Royal Canadian Navy and the Canadian Armed Forces, including in National Defence Headquarters as a Rear Admiral and Vice Admiral, where I had the honor to serve both under Liberal and Conservative Ministers of National Defence. In every instance, they received my complete respect and loyalty, regardless of party. My father also served in Canada's Navy for 37 years from 1909 to 1946. He commanded several RCN ships, and he commanded both coasts, and was ultimately the commanding officer Pacific Coast during the last 3 years of World War II. His father was Speaker of the House of Commons during the Laurier government, then was Minister of Inland Revenue, then Minister of Marine and Fisheries, in which capacity he became the founding Minister of the Royal Canadian Navy, then served as Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada, and ultimately died in office as Lieutenant Governor of Quebec. He devoted his entire life to Canada. On behalf of 3 generations who have devoted their lives to Canada, I unequivocally condemn the power-grabbing political charade now taking place in Parliament. We are witnessing a deplorable and juvenile scene which demeans its participants and also further erodes the residual prestige of a Canada which in both world wars achieved greatness and international respect. Politicians and their sycophants delude themselves into believing that Canada has influence and prestige in the modern world. Compared to the Canadian international influence and prestige I witnessed in the 1950s, we have become moralizing nonentities who are recognizably no longer even capable of constructing our own warships, submarines, and military aircraft, and will soon become totally dependent on other nations for even our means of defense. When a terrorist crisis hits Canada, and someday it undoubtedly will, the politicians will scurry about seeking who to blame for lack of capability or preparedness. I can save them the trouble. Look in the mirror. Make it a long look if you come from the NDP, the political party which has consistently opposed defense spending over the past 3 decades. So this obviously dysfunctional consortia is about to approach the Governor-General seeking her concurrence to form the next government. Ask yourselves how Her Excellency will be able to reconcile the fact that Canadian soldiers, of whom she is the Commander-in-Chief, are fighting and dying for Canada in Afghanistan, while Canadian politicians are obsessed with power grabbing. Our military are not stupid. How long can they be expected to put their lives on the line under those circumstances? There was a stunning contrast yesterday between the statesmanship displayed by President-elect Obama with his national security team and the complete lack of statesmanship in Canada's Parliament. A great many Canadians will have noted that contrast and be disgusted with Canadian politicians. I realize that you are only 2 members of Parliament among many. I can only hope that my words and my respect for you may assist you in bringing your colleagues to their senses. Sincerely, Nigel Brodeur.